On a sunny afternoon, a crowd has gathered around a small cottage by the sea. The beachgoers have noticed a terrible stench spreading from the tiny house, and they are disturbed and terrified by the nauseating odor. A couple of police officers have been notified to investigate. They knock on the door but no one replies. So they decide to break into the cottage. When the door opens, the foul smell forces one of them to instantly vomit. They can see the space inside is crawling with many different bugs and parasites. The floor, ceiling, and walls are all infested with mold, caused by the warm, mildewy air. The bed is saturated with strange vegetations, transforming it into an eerie, miniature forest. And when they reach the bathroom, they finally uncover the root of the nauseating stench and disgusting infestation, haunting the cottage and the beach. A few hours ago, on the night before, a young woman was reading in the seaside cottage. A gentle summer breeze suddenly entered through the window and a skin-tingling, enticing, but strange sensation overcame her. Seduced by the warm, whispering wind and the song of the ocean waves, she left the cottage to take a stroll on the beach. At the same time, deep below the surface of the ocean lied a peculiar sight on the sea floor. It had become the final resting place for someone who died long ago. The remnants of a boat marked the location of a watery grave. A young life cut short by an unfortunate incident, whose spirit refused to succumb to death. Back on the surface, as the young woman wandered the beach, darkness enveloped her. And the path was lit only by the dim light from the moon and the stars above. As she continued, she noticed a dark figure slowly approaching from a distance. Nervous yet curious, she was inexplicably drawn to this mysterious presence. The pale moonlight gradually revealed the silhouette to be a young man.
Good evening.
She immediately sensed an intoxicating aura around the stranger. His scent, his voice, his eyes, his smile, all incited an inexplicable but undeniable arousal inside her. She felt an uncanny, overwhelming attraction towards the stranger in front of her.
Beautiful night.
Beautiful indeed.
Thrilled by the unknown, the young woman was eager to unravel the enigma standing in front of her.
What brings you out here in the middle of the night?
The warm summer breeze, and the sound of the waves.
Me too. Are you staying in one of the hotels?
No, I am a local. And you?
Vacation. And I am renting one of the cottages on the beach.
Their conversation carried on and her attraction towards him grew more intense as she discovered more and more about the stranger. She found him tantalizing, charismatic, knowledgeable, sophisticated, and witty. He exuded a magnetism that was eerie and erotic, and as if by enchantment, she had fallen under his spell. Dominated by her desire, she did something completely out of character.
Would you like to join me for tea at my cottage?
I would love to.
The young woman gently reached for his hand. She felt an electrifying, tingling sensation spread from the palm of her hand, up her arms, and all the way through her entire body. Her sentiment towards the stranger had transformed from a thrilling attraction into a lewd infatuation. When they have finally reached her lodging, they burst into the room. Engulfed by desire, she forewent all inhibitions and their bodies became closely entangled. His scent enveloped her and reminded her of the ocean. When his fingers roamed gently across her body, she felt a shocking, tantalizing shiver throughout her being. His skin was icy to the touch, which created a chilling sensation in contrast to the warm summer air. As the night deepened, every corner of the cottage was filled with intimacy, passion, and fervor. Following dawn, the young woman woke up after a wild, exhausting night. She slowly turned around to greet the stranger.
Morning.
But discovered only a moist, human-shaped impression by her side. She checked her small cottage and quickly realized she was alone. Suddenly, a pungent scent filled her nose. It resembled a pile of rotting fish that had been left under the blistering sun. The scent grew stronger and stronger. Eventually, she realized the revolting odor came from her own body, as every pore of her skin was permeating the smell of rotting fish. It made her sick to the stomach, and she ran into the bathroom in disgust. She washed herself hysterically to rid her body of the scent, but an intense, unrelenting pain appeared abruptly in her most private and sensitive anatomy. It filled her womb with a throbbing, grinding, and twisting sensation. She could see a large amount of sand around that area as she looked down. She realized it was dripping out of her from within, as it had penetrated inside her. She tried to flush out the sand, but it grated against the deepest, most delicate region within her body, leading to a debilitating agony. The unyielding pain continued to intensify as she cowered on the floor, screaming in anguish. Suddenly, her abdomen slid open as sand and briny water gushed out from her body, along with her organs. As she laid in pain and horror, she saw strange creatures slowly crawl out from her womb. The young woman could see them feeding on her flesh and blood, while she exhaled her last breath. And finally, succumbed to death. Have you ever been infatuated with someone? I hope you think of this story whenever you meet a person you find attractive. Do subscribe, like, comment, and share, if you would like to hear more horror stories. Thank you for joining us. This is Dorian. Until next time.